Japanese traditional kitchen wisdom, making the most of everyday ingredients. Welcome to the world of traditional Japanese kitchen wisdom. Known as Obechen no Chibukuro, or Grandma's Bag of Wisdom. This collection of tips and techniques has been handed down through generations. From preserving food without refrigeration to creatively using every part of an ingredient. These age-old methods not only minimize waste, but also maximize flavor. Today, I'll take you through some of the best ways to make your food last longer and taste better, just as Japanese grandmothers have done for centuries. 1. Using leftover vegetables to their full potential. Creating delicious stock from vegetable peels. In Japan, vegetable peels aren't just waste, they're a hidden source of flavor. Carrot, onion, and celery peels can be simmered in water to create a rich vegetable stock. This stock is perfect for soups, stews, or sauces, and gives your dishes a unique depth of flavor, all while reducing food waste. Freezing vegetables to prevent spoilage. When vegetables start looking a little less fresh, don't toss them. Simply chop and freeze them in small portions. Frozen veggies can easily be added to stir-fries, soups, and casseroles. By keeping them in your freezer, you can extend their freshness and make the most out of each piece. 2. Storing seasonings for long-lasting flavor. Keeping soy sauce and miso fresh. Soy sauce and miso paste are essential in Japanese cooking, but they can lose flavor over time. By storing these ingredients in the fridge after opening, you can slow down oxidation and preserve their rich taste and aroma. This simple step keeps your seasonings fresh, just as Japanese households have done for generations, preventing oil and vinegar from going bad. To keep oils and vinegars fresh, store them in a cool, dark place. Olive oil and sesame oil, in particular, can go rancid quickly, so smaller bottles are ideal if you don't use them often. Vinegar also stays fresh when kept away from direct sunlight, helping preserve its tangy flavor. 3. Surprising ways to use rice. Making deodorizers with old rice. In Japan, old rice finds new life as a natural deodorizer. Place a handful of dried rice in a small cloth bag, and it will absorb moisture and odors in closets, refrigerators, or shoe racks, turning leftover rice into crunchy rice crackers. Leftover rice can be repurposed into crispy, delicious rice crackers. Freeze the rice, then cut it into small pieces and deep fry or bake it. Add a bit of salt, sugar, or seaweed for a delightful snack. 4. Reviving ingredients that are past their prime. Making jam from overripe fruit. Overripe fruit is ideal for homemade jam. Simply chop the fruit, add sugar, and simmer until thick. A squeeze of lemon juice can add a tangy flavor. Spread this jam on toast or mix it with yogurt for a delicious treat. Transforming stale bread into crispy rusks. When bread gets stale, it's the perfect opportunity to make rusks. Slice the bread thin, brush it with butter, sprinkle on some sugar, and bake until crispy. For a savory twist, add a little olive oil and salt instead. 5. Preserving fish and reducing fish odor. Reducing fish odor with simple techniques. To minimize fish odor, Japanese chefs often rinse fish with salt or vinegar before cooking. Let the salt sit for a few minutes to draw out impurities, then rinse. This technique enhances freshness and is especially effective for oily fish like mackerel and sardines. Keeping fish fresh for longer. To extend fish freshness, remove the internal organs. Pat the fish dry and wrap it tightly. You can store it in the fridge or, for longer preservation, freeze it in small portions. When it's time to cook, defrost it slowly in the fridge to preserve the flavor. 6. Using pickles and vinegar in Japanese cooking. Quick pickling with umeboshi. Japanese pickled plums. Japanese pickled plums, or umeboshi, are a staple in traditional kitchens. You can use umeboshi to pickle vegetables quickly by tossing sliced cucumbers or cabbage with a crumbled umeboshi. Let it sit in the fridge for an hour for a refreshing, tangy pickle. Creating vinegar pickled vegetables. Vinegar helps make delicious pickles that can be stored for a long time. Carrots, radishes, or cucumbers can be briefly boiled, then soaked in a mixture of vinegar, sugar, and salt for a homemade pickle. This method is perfect for creating a zesty side dish to enjoy with meals. 7. Reusing tea leaves and coffee grounds. Cleaning with used tea leaves. Used tea leaves work wonderfully for cleaning around the house. In Japan, tea leaves are sprinkled on tatami mats or wooden floors, where they attract dust and absorb odors. After sweeping, you're left with a fresh, natural fragrance. Deodorizing with coffee grounds. Dried coffee grounds act as natural deodorizers. Placing a small container of coffee grounds in your fridge or garbage can help eliminate unwanted smells. Coffee grounds can also be used to scrub kitchen surfaces for a quick and natural cleaning boost. 8. Keeping summer foods fresh. Freezing tomatoes for long-lasting freshness. Tomatoes can spoil quickly, especially in warm weather. Simply wash, remove the stem, and freeze them whole or chopped. Frozen tomatoes are great for soups, pasta sauces, or stews. This way, you can enjoy ripe tomatoes all year round. Drying ginger for longer shelf life. Sliced ginger can be dried and stored for months. Spread the slices out on a tray and leave them to dry in a sunny, breezy spot. Once dry, store them in an airtight container, and they'll be ready to add a punch of flavor to any dish. 9. Prepping ingredients to enhance flavor. Tenderizing meat with simple techniques. Tender meat starts with a bit of prep. Rubbing a bit of salt into the meat and letting it sit for a few minutes brings out moisture, which helps keep it juicy. Alternatively, marinating meat in yogurt or vinegar softens the texture and brings out flavor, bringing out the best in vegetables. Many Japanese dishes call for a technique called shiomami, or salting vegetables. By tossing sliced vegetables with a small amount of salt and letting them rest, you draw out excess water, which helps them stay crunchy. Another great tip is to lightly saute vegetables before using them in soups or stews to boost their natural sweetness. 10. Creative ways to use leftover ingredients. Making custom sauces from leftover condiments. Leftover condiments can be mixed to create unique sauces. Try combining ketchup and soy sauce for a quick stir-fry sauce, or mix mayonnaise and miso paste for a tangy vegetable dip. This technique lets you make use of every last drop in the bottle, turning leftovers into tasty dishes. Leftover curry can easily become curry udon or curry rice gratin, adding new life to yesterday's meal. Stews and simmered dishes can be turned into hearty Japanese-style omelets or used as flavorful toppings for rice bowls. By repurposing leftovers, you reduce waste and enjoy creative, delicious dishes. These tried-and-true techniques from Japanese grandmothers help us appreciate and preserve every bit of food. By applying these ideas, you can make the most of your ingredients, reduce waste, and discover new ways to savor traditional Japanese flavors. Enjoy bringing a piece of Japanese culture into your kitchen and experience the taste of Japan's wisdom in every meal.